Welcome to day 21 of the book The Absolute Law of Karma, written by our Param Pujya Gurudev Pandit Sri Janaamshatabdi. Till now we have studied about how to welcome our sufferings, how they are a blessing in disguise, how our own thoughts, our own attributes of Sat, Raj and Tam create our own world, how we are the master of our own destiny, and how we actually must endeavor to find out what we really are, what our true inner nature is, what our truth is, and not continue to remain and lead life in an unawakened, body-conscious state. Now we read another such topic which is titled Your World, a reflection of your own mind. In this world, we find people complaining about many types of misfortunes and feeling euphoric on insignificant occasions of pleasure. There are habitual pessimists blaming everyone for everything. Expressions like "this world is very bad," "times are so bad," "honesty is a virtue of the past," "religion has been buried for good," are very commonly bandied about these days. If someone is in the habit of repeating such phrases, he is expressing only the impressions of his own mind, and you can safely assume that he himself is a cheat or probably a dishonest person. So here Gurudev is trying to tell us that how generic phrases like, "oh, people are so bad these days," "oh, the times are so nasty," "oh, so and so things are happening a lot these days," they are nothing but impressions of someone who only wishes to experience that particular reality. Because we believe in what we have been taught, that is, if we change our perception, we change our surrounding. That is, manasthiti badle to paristhiti badlegi. Man has systematically built the image of his unhappy world by interacting with pessimistic people around himself. If someone is in the habit of complaining about lack of opportunities for work, widespread unemployment, failure of good industries, and non-availability of good jobs, take it for granted that his idiosphere is full of thick clouds of indolence, torpor, or incompetence. This he finds reflected everywhere in the world. If someone sees this world as full of self-centered hypocrites or sinners or evil and uncivilized people, infer that the individual himself has an abundance of corresponding negative attributes in his own self. So here Gurudev is trying to tell us that how whatever we see outside is nothing but our own inner mental state projecting on those impressions. If we, no matter what, continue to look for the good, that means that we have a very, very high vibrational inner state. If we continue to see the bad, that means that we have a lot of self-work to do, and it is our own incompetence or our own negative traits inside us that are to be blamed for such a narrow-sighted inference of the outer world. This world is like a magnificent large mirror which faithfully reflects our own idiosphere. As mentioned earlier, elements of this world precipitate into three types of qualitative attributes of Sat, Raj and Tam in life. Whichever attribute dominates in the personality of an individual, it attracts its counterpart from the world at large. Wherever a short-tempered person goes, he finds something to quarrel with. One who has hatred in mind will always find out an object to be hated. To an unfair person, everyone appears ill-mannered, uncivil, and worthy of punishment. Whenever an individual interacts with someone, he or she views the latter in the same light with which his own personality is colored. A person of impeccable morality rarely comes across a woman of fallen virtue. Scholars do get avenues for right information, Seekers of truth always find opportunities for quenching their thirst for wisdom. Enlightened souls have always been living on this earth. Wherever they live, environment around them attracts virtuous people. So here again Gurudev is giving examples of telling us how this world is nothing but a large wonderful mirror, and whatever we give out in the world is what we get back, and it reflects our own idiosphere. So sometimes, if you might have noticed a person who is perpetually in a state of a complaining or grumpy nature, always find something to complain about or be grumpy about or be upset with, no matter how good surroundings are, how good the environment is, how happy people are around him, he or she will always complain about something or the other. Similarly, whatever we give out is what we get back. That is another law of the universe, that no matter what we see in others is actually thing that we are projecting from our own personality. It's something like, if we have hatred inside us, no matter how sweetly a person would talk to us, we will always see some kind of hate in them, and that is a law of nature. So therefore it's said that when we get irritated or angry with someone, the fault is not of the other person. They are not to be blamed. The fault is in us, in our own personality, or in our own weak emotional state that gets so triggered easily. Moving on. However, it is not our intention to prove that there is absolutely no evil on this earth, and whatever good or bad we find here is totally a reflection of our own field of view. It has been repeatedly stated that in this world, good, average and bad coexist, and one receives what one gets tuned into. So remember, by saying this, that a bad person will only see bad and a good person will only see good, we are not trying to prove that there does not exist bad at all, and that everyone who sees bad in someone is the fault of that everyone, but not of that one bad person. We are not trying to prove it otherwise, but we are only trying to say that whatever elements of frequency we are vibrating with, either sattvic, rajasic or tamasic, is what we see the most, or is what we receive the most, because we get tuned into those frequencies and thereby attract similar frequencies. Because in this world, all the three elements coexist in equilibrium: sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. So it is our own duty, it is upon us to keep refining our inner self, keep making sure that our thoughts and our emotions, for not only our own selves but for others, are very pure, are good, are at of high vibrational energy, and therefore we will only attract similar energy people into our idiosphere.
हमारे YouTube चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और बेल आइकन पर क्लिक कीजिए ताकि आने वाली सभी वीडियो की नोटिफिकेशन आपको मिलती रहे। आप सभी को बहुत बहुत थैंक यू।